Greetings from South Korea. I am Arirang News AI anchor. Here is the news making headlines today. U.S. President Donald Trump said Sunday that the United States is low-keying it in terms of its approach to Iran, signaling that Washington would rely on mounting economic pressure rather than launching a new military offensive. Trump said that Iran is in a very difficult situation economically, even lacking the funds to pay its soldiers. This comes after Iran announced a list of demands for Washington to reopen the Strait of Hormuz. Mohammad Bagher Zolgadar, Secretary of Iran's Supreme National Security Council, has demanded the lifting of the U.S. naval blockade and the withdrawal of U.S. forces from the region. Iranian Foreign Ministry spokesperson Esmail Baghaei said Tehran is not planning to impose transit tolls on vessels using the waterway, as discussions over maritime service fees continue. President Lee Jae-myung has called for a temporary relocation of Gwangju military airbase to speed up carrying out the mega-projects on chips and AI. In a follow-up meeting on Monday with related agencies and private firms, Yi instructed the Defense Ministry to review redeploying the airport's function and services to other military airports by no later than mid-2028, but only for a certain period. The military airbase in the southwestern city of Gwangju has been chosen as the site for a new chip cluster as a follow-up to the announcement of the 3 megaprojects in June. The president has been chairing the monthly follow-up meeting since July. Korea and China are reportedly arranging for Chinese Foreign Minister Wang Yi to visit Seoul potentially on Wednesday and Thursday next week. A diplomatic official told Arirang News on Monday that the dates are still being negotiated, but didn't confirm reports of the visit. If confirmed, it would be Wang's first trip to Korea for bilateral foreign ministers' talks in nearly 5 years. He is expected to meet Foreign Minister Choi-hyun to discuss bilateral ties, North Korea's nuclear program, Taiwan, and the Middle East. Possible meetings with President Lee Jae-myung and Unification Minister Jung Dong-young are also under consideration. Seoul is expected to seek Beijing's support for denuclearization of the Korean peninsula and Pyongyang's return to dialogue. The Republic of Korea and the U.S. are coming together once again for the Ulchi Freedom Shield exercise set to run from the 17th through 27th. South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff and the ROK-U.S. Combined Forces Command say the annual exercises, as always, defensive in nature. This year's scenarios will reflect realistic threats and lessons learned from recent conflicts, including the changing nature of modern warfare. The annual exercise is drawing particular attention this year as a potential milestone in the transfer of wartime operational control, or OPCON, an issue expected to feature prominently at this year's Security Consultative Meeting. The United Nations Command will also participate, with 70 personnel from 12 member states, including South Korea and the U.S. Korea's economy has been boosted by strong semiconductor exports and a rebound in facility investment and consumer spending. According to the Korea Development Institute's August report released on Monday, AI-driven semiconductor demand boosted the country's economic momentum, driving July exports up 62.8% compared to the same period the previous year. Led by a sharp 58.5% surge in chip-making equipment investment, facility investment jumped 21.7% in June. Consumer spending was also up, with retail sales rising 4.2% as automobile and home appliance sales bounced back. However, the KDI warned that high inflation at 2.8%, slow job growth of just 63,000 jobs, and external threats like U.S. tariffs still pose ongoing risks. That is all from me today. Thank you for watching.